Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello there, everyone. I'm Mike.
Hello there, I am Winnie.
And today we are going to be reading a couple of dialogues on a couple of different topics. But there's one main idea here. It's how not to hate your friends and fight them. Well, no, it's more about agreeing and disagreeing.
Yeah.
Of course, if you disagree too much, then you might hate your friends and fight them. But we don't want that to happen. People are different. I know that's big news to everyone, but it's true. Everyone is different, and we all have different ideas about things. We all have different opinions.
Right, but how do we share that in a nice way?
And what do we do when a good friend maybe has a different opinion about something we feel very strongly about? I know you like to read. Are you a real book reader or an e-book reader?
Okay. I like to buy physical books.
Yes, okay. Paper books, yeah.
But when it comes down to, you know, what's efficient, I like a e-reader.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. I think e-readers are not much fun. They don't give you that feeling of touching the paper. And of course, I like to support local bookshops.
Oh.
With an e-reader, I'm not doing
But Mike!
that. Yes? You're wrong! What?
No, you're still gonna be my friend.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
We can be
yeah.
friends. And actually, I have an e-reader too.
You see?
See, there
And
you go.
And I do like the smell of physical books more.
Right, it is nice.
You know?
So sometimes if you find you talk about things, you will agree in the end, or maybe you can't come together, maybe you will disagree. There is a way to disagree, to have different opinions, even if you really believe that you're right, with a friend, but not have it ruin your friendship or a relationship. So let's look at a few examples of some friends agreeing and disagreeing on a bunch of different topics. Tamara and Josh are standing in an empty room.
I can't wait to make this room our own.
Yeah, it's exciting. Shall we get the blue couch we saw online?
Definitely. It'll fit perfectly in here. But what color should we paint the walls?
I think yellow walls would be ideal. Yellow is a happy color.
I was thinking of a light gray. It's less bright, but it's still warm.
But will gray look good with the blue sofa?
I think it'll match nicely. Yellow might be too intense.
I see your point. Maybe we can get some paint samples and decide then.
Good idea. Let's do that.
All right, so here we are agreeing and disagreeing. Now, sometimes if it's about something really important, this can cause trouble with friendships. But here, I don't think this is too, life or death. This isn't like a big question. The first dialogue is all about sharing opinions on decorating. Now, this could be something you do with your friend. You're at the store, you're looking to make your house more beautiful, and you think the blue thing is nicer than the red thing, and your friend has the opposite opinion. Decorating is not usually life or death.
Right.
No, but it's important.
So when we say the word to decorate, that is our verb, and it basically just means to make something look interesting or better than it was before. So to add on things that, I think that looks better, so I'm going to decorate it with, let's say you're decorating a tree. And so you want to decorate it with some baubles or some ornaments or some tinsel. And, a tree by itself, it's nice, but you want to make it look special, so you decorate it. So, for example, you could say, I enjoy decorating for Halloween. And, I know a lot of people, they decorate their entire house to look like a haunted house.
Absolutely. You'll decorate for a special occasion like Halloween, Christmas, Chinese New Year, your birthday. But we also use this word just for when you move to a new house, there's an empty room. What will you put in there? What color will the walls be? What color will the sofa be? Will it all match and look nice together? If you really like decorating, maybe you just like going to, IKEA and furniture. Ooh, I'm going to put that in my room and then I'll pair it with that. Oh, and it's going to look so great and it looks so beautiful. It's decorating not for a special occasion, just to make where you live more attractive. So who is decorating and what the heck's going on? Well, it says Tamara and Josh are standing in an empty room.
Right, so maybe they haven't moved in yet, okay?
That's right.
So typically when you're decorating a place, you're starting... Well, hopefully you're starting with, just a blank canvas or just an empty room. Yeah. But some people want to redecorate, and so they take out everything and get something new.
Make your house look fresh and new again if you've lived there for many years.
So Tamara says, I can't wait to make this room our own.
We want it to be beautiful, to be attractive, and maybe to show our personality in a way. So having this empty room for Tamara is sort of like a writer with an empty page.
Yeah.
I could write anything. What will I write? I have all these ideas. Now I will make them real. And so back to Josh, he says, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, right? There's a lot of opportunity here, a lot of things we can do. And then he says, shall we get the blue couch we saw online?
Right.
So clearly they've already been looking at some furniture they could buy.
Yep.
Josh remembers seeing a blue couch. He thinks maybe it would fit nicely and the color would be good. It's a good starting place, right?
So they have a general idea.
Yeah.
And then Tamara says, definitely, it'll fit perfectly in here.
Okay.
But what color should we paint the walls?
Yes, of course. Well, now they have a blue sofa. This is good. It's kind of like getting dressed in the morning. If you know you're going to wear your blue shirt, that will help you choose what color pants to wear or something like that. So blue sofa, this gives Josh an idea. He says, I think yellow walls would be ideal. Yellow is a happy color, and I believe it kind of matches. Ooh, you don't like this idea. It matches with blue. There are many kinds of yellow. Maybe it's not like bright yellow. Maybe it's a pale yellow.
Then Tamara says, I was thinking of a light gray. It's less bright, but it's still warm.
I like that idea better. Yeah. But Josh has a question. He's thinking about, he's trying to picture this in his mind. But will gray look good with the blue sofa?
Tamara then says, I think it'll match nicely.
I think she's right.
Yellow might be too intense.
It might be a little intense, a little bright, a little powerful, a little like, whoa, yellow room, hello.
Yeah.
So yes, gray is a little softer, not quite as
muted. It's more muted.
It's more muted.
Yes.
It's not as loud. And we often use these sort of sound words when we talk about colors: muted, quiet, loud, bright. And yeah, so that's the idea. Josh says, I see your point. When you find that what someone says kind of helps to change your mind, if you didn't really think that way.
And he's seeing it from her
perspective. They
perspective.
say it and you're like, okay. I see your point. My mind is starting to change. I'm starting to agree with you. He says, I see your point. Maybe we can get some paint samples and decide then. Yeah, they can go to the store.
He's trying to keep everyone happy.
Exactly. Find a little sort of color menu and they can match different colors to the blue sofa.
Right. That way when they go home, they don't have to just buy the paint already and then paint and then, oh no, decide it's too late. So the paint samples will give them an idea without having to paint an entire wall.
Tasting your food before you order it all, yes.
Right, or I guess tasting a cake before you buy it.
There you go.
So then Tamara says, good idea. Let's do that. Okay, so crisis kind of averted for now. We're okay for now. We're still friends.
I think they're going to be okay. I think Tamara is right. Josh is wrong. But he seems to understand that too. All right.
She's being nice about it.
She is being nice. I think they are finally going to agree and have a beautiful room. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and find out how two other friends start to fight and argue. It's going to be so great.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次绘画主题是表达赞同与反对。那在第一段对话里面 ，Tamara 和 Josh 站在一个空房间里面，他们在分享彼此对装潢的看法。那他们打算买网络上看到的蓝色沙发，接着也讨论到墙壁要漆成什么颜色。Josh 认为黄色墙壁很理想，黄色也是一种快乐的颜色。Tamara 则考虑到要用浅灰色，它是属于暖色调，比较没那么明亮。那最后他们达成共识，就是等到拿到一些油漆色卡再来做决定。好，单字 decorate 这个动词表示装饰、装扮或是打扮。Winnie 老师在解释这个单字时，他用到 ornament。O-R-N-A-M-E-N-T， 那这个名词它表示装饰品、点缀物，这时候是可数名词，它也可以当不可数名词来表达装饰、摆设。老师还有提到 bauble 是指装饰用的小绒球，还有 tinsel 则是指金属箔装饰物。好，那单字例句提到装饰万圣夜，我们补充一个动词是 haunt。H-A-U-N-T haunt， 它表示鬼魂出没于或者是纠缠。那么 Winnie 老师是用到它的过去分词 haunted 来描述是闹鬼的。好，另外老师们提到 muted 可以形容声音是轻柔安静的，不过它也可以用来描述颜色它是柔和的。好，接回到课文中。
Mr. Stride has just called his employee, Yvonne, into his office.
Yvonne, we are going with the beach poster for our new advertising campaign.
I see. Can I share my thoughts on that?
Of course, go ahead.
I'm concerned that it doesn't match our brand image. We're known for urban styles, not summer fashion.
I appreciate your point, but I think this poster will draw in a new demographic.
True, but it might lose us some current customers.
I get that, but this change is important to keep us fresh and exciting.
I understand.
Thank you for sharing your opinion, Yvonne.
Welcome back from the break, and now we are going to shift gears. We're going to be talking about disagreeing, but at work. So disagreeing at work, it's a little bit different because when you disagree with your friend, you know, you can kind of be like, hey, come on, hear me out. But when you're in a professional setting, you can't just say, hey, you're stupid. You know?
Exactly, yes. You have to work with these people, and maybe, I think like in our dialogue, maybe you're disagreeing with your boss, someone with more power than you. And of course, you don't want to have a fight in that situation. You got to be careful. So what's going on here?
Okay, so we see Mr. Stride has just called his employee Yvonne into his office.
Okay. Mr. Stride is the boss. Yvonne is the employee. That means she works for Mr. Stride. So, Mr. Stride welcomes her as she comes into the office, and he gets right to the point. He says, Yvonne, we are going with the beach poster for our new advertising campaign. All right, so they're talking about a decision that they made. They had some choices for what pictures to put on some stuff for advertising, right? They're talking about a product, they're making it exciting, they're announcing it to the people, and they're going with a poster. A poster is basically just a large picture printed on paper that you will then hang on a wall. You can put it in your room, in your home, you can put it on a wall outside on a building, you could put it maybe on the side of a bus or in a train station. Basically, it's just a big sign. It will have very interesting pictures and colors and writing, and it will give you information. A movie poster. Have you seen the poster for the new Batman movie? It will have a cool design, it will look different from the other ones, and it will have words and writing that tell you about the movie.
Right, and as we were saying, there are different types of posters. It could be for your interest, or in this case, they are talking about a poster for advertising, okay? So when we're talking about advertising, we're talking about trying to make something popular. We're trying to let people know about something or a product, okay? So when you advertise something, we're trying to get the word out there. Hey, we sell this. There is a new product. blah, 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 blah. So for example, advertising helps companies sell their products. So you will see, hey, Nike has a new shoe, but how do I know that? It's because a model is wearing it on a poster or billboard. That is their advertisement. And I just really want to quickly also go over the word campaign. When we're talking about an advertising campaign, that is the whole project. We're trying to make sure this product is getting out there. Sometimes you will even say, there's a presidential campaign. There's an election, right? They want to make sure people know about this politician. Okay? So then Yvonne says, I see. Can I share my thoughts on that?
All right, so he's told her the decision that they've made, but she seems to not quite agree. But Mr. Stride, he's the boss. He could say, nope, the decision's made. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. But no, he doesn't. He wants to hear her opinion, even if it's different. He says, of course, go ahead. If someone says go ahead, they could be telling you to walk ahead, or they could also just be telling you to speak, say what you want to say.
And so then Yvonne says, I'm concerned that it doesn't match our brand image. We're known for urban styles, not summer fashion. So you're right, Mr. Stride does have the ability to say, we already made the decision. He doesn't have to hear her out, or he doesn't have to listen to her opinion, but he's giving her room to say, what she feels.
Yeah, and she gave a good reason. She didn't just say, I don't like it. No, she has a reason. Her logic is the company is more associated. People think of this company more for urban fashions and not for beach or countryside or summer holiday type of fashions. Urban, of course, is the adjective that talks about the city. The opposite would be of the countryside, that would be rural. All right, and often when we see urban fashions, we're kind of thinking kind of cool, kind of modern street fashions, maybe associated with like hip hop and, modern cool music like that. Not countryside, not weekend, not beach, very of the city. Here's a great example. New York is a very large urban area. It's a really big city. All right, back to the dialogue. So Mr. Stride listened to her and she's kind of saying, we're not really a beach holiday company. I don't think it fits us. It doesn't match. He thinks about that and he says, I appreciate your point. I've listened to you and yes, what you say makes sense, but I still don't quite agree, as he says, but I think this poster will draw in a new demographic. This might be something Yvonne doesn't know about. They're actually trying to be less of an urban fashion company.
They want to branch out.
And trying to branch out, trying to get some of the people who aren't city people, but are beach people, country people, holiday people, summertime vacation people.
Right, and because he says the word demographic, and that means, maybe the customers before were a certain demographic or a certain type of person.
Women 18 to 34, that group.
Yeah. But now we want to reach a younger audience or maybe a different type of customer. So then Yvonne says, true, but it might lose us some current customers. And that's a valid point because right now there are customers who like the brand, but she's worried that if we change and we shift a little bit, are we going to lose the existing customers?
Some of the people who like the cool city style might not like the clothes with giant parrots and palm trees and suns on it in the summer style. They'll go, I used to like them, but I don't like that style. I'm shopping somewhere else. But Mr. Stride, he thinks this is a chance the company needs to take. He says, I get that. I understand. Again, it's like, I appreciate what you're saying, but he's the boss. But this change is important to keep us fresh and exciting.
Right, there's a lot of back and forth, but finally Yvonne says, I understand.
All right, good listening going on. And so he wraps it up by saying, thank you for sharing your opinion, Yvonne.
I think this is a very healthy boss-employee dynamic, which a lot of companies hopefully can take a little bit of notice from, a little advice from. But that's all we have for today. Hopefully you know how to agree to disagree with your friends / teacher / who knows.
Take care.
在第二段对话里 ，Mr. Stride 他把员工 Yvonne 叫到他的办公室，告诉他说新的广宣活动要用到那一张海滩海报。Yvonne 询问能不能分享自己的看法 那么 Mr. Stride 同意之后 Yvonne 就说他担心这不符合他们的品牌形象，他们是以都会风格出名，而不是夏季的时尚，怕就会因此而失去一些现有的客户。Mr. Stride 他了解这一点，可是他希望能够吸引到新的客群，并且让这个品牌保持新鲜度和兴奋感。好，那么文中用到 demographic 是名词，表示客群或者是特定年龄层的人群。那老师们这时候也有用到 branch out 这个用法，它表示扩大范围、拓展领域。再来看单字 poster 是海报。Advertising 它则是指广告或是广告业。那么 Winnie 老师这时候有用到 billboard 就是指大型广告看板。好，下一个单字 urban 它是形容都市的、城市的。那相对的说法 rural 就可以指乡村的或是农村的。那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，那我们来看看 go with 名词的不同意思。第一种呢，可以用来指选择、选用。假设面前有几样点心给你选，那可以用I'll go with 什么什么来表达自己的选择，像是 I'll go with the apple pie， 我要选苹果派。那第二个我们可以用来表达适合，与什么很搭，那可以加入 well、nicely 等等的副词来修饰，像是 The necklace goes well with your dress， 这条项链跟你的洋装很搭。那第三个呢，可以用来表达伴随，随着什么什么一起出现，例如If you want to start your own business, you have to accept the stress that goes with it. 如果你想自己创业，就得承受伴随而来的压力。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Tamara and Josh are standing in an empty room.
I can't wait to make this room our own.
Yeah, it's exciting. Shall we get the blue couch we saw online?
Definitely. It'll fit perfectly in here. But what color should we paint the walls?
I think yellow walls would be ideal. Yellow is a happy color.
I was thinking of a light gray. It's less bright, but it's still warm.
But will gray look good with the blue sofa?
I think it'll match nicely. Yellow might be too intense.
I see your point. Maybe we can get some paint samples and decide then.
Good idea. Let's do that.
Mr. Stride has just called his employee, Yvonne, into his office.
Yvonne, we are going with the beach poster for our new advertising campaign.
I see. Can I share my thoughts on that?
Of course, go ahead.
I'm concerned that it doesn't match our brand image. We're known for urban styles, not summer fashion.
I appreciate your point, but I think this poster will draw in a new demographic.
True, but it might lose us some current customers.
I get that, but this change is important to keep us fresh and exciting.
I understand.
Thank you for sharing your opinion, Yvonne.
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki. And I'm Winnie. And today we're reading Mary Poppins. And there's a really hard word, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wow, you're really good at pronouncing that word.
That's because I practice.
Looks like we should do some pronunciation today.
All right, let's work on some pronunciations. Okay, can you read this for me?
Okay, water is very important in the Desert. Water is very important in the desert.
Water is very important in the desert.
Very good, nice. Desert. That's a good catch.
But what about this one?
Don't eat too much dessert.
Don't eat too much dessert.
Don't eat too much dessert.
Dessert. Yes.
Good.
Don't eat too much dessert. Okay, what did we learn today?
Let's work on today's pronunciations. We have two very similarly spelt words, desert and dessert. At really quick glance, it looks like the same word, but they mean totally different things. So our first sentence is, water is very important in the desert. We will notice that our emphasis goes downwards. So desert. And you'll notice that the S kind of makes a Z sound. Water is very important in the desert. Next, we have don't eat too much dessert. Here, our emphasis goes up. Dessert. Don't eat too much dessert. The SS also makes a Z sound, but it also changes our emphasis. So we have desert, and now don't eat too much dessert. That's all we have for today. Kiwi later.